Play.
Hello guys, let's talk about Madrid. Let's talk about the qualifying match between Thanasi, Kokkinakis and Dominic Thiem. Basically, John's idea was that I was going to come in here, talk about it for most of it, because I have to leave in like 45 minutes, and then he would come right after me. However, like he would just finish the job. However, as it turns out, like the previous two matches ended up being pretty long. Of course, that was first Radu Albot against Thiago Monteiro, with the Brazilian making the main draw. And then later on, it was also Roberto Bautista Agut against Albert Ramos Vignolas. So, in fact, I will kind of just be starting this live stream for John to finish it. But, we'll handle that situation however it's sort of we have to. I see that Ghosty was already in the chat talking about Tatiana Maria and Peyton Stearns, who have had a fabulous match. Of course, as usual, the main draw of Madrid on the WTA side starts a day earlier. Nothing exceptional, I suppose, so far, other than that match. Brenda Fruchvirtova lost. Linda Fruchvirtova will probably soon lose, so not a good day for the Czech youngsters. However, here we still have a few men's qualifying matches, and Thanasi Kokkinakis, Dominic Thiem might be the biggest one of them all today. Dominic played horribly yesterday, like he was absolutely vile. The way that he won against Marigeni Alves was just, the last four games, the Brazilian gets really tight, plays some of the most passive tennis that I've ever seen from him. And even though Thiem was like not doing anything with his strokes, he was really like not doing any damage, not getting any penetration. He still manages to win the last four games and survives, maybe kind of saving his career in the process. Yesterday we had Diego Schwartzman missing match points and saying on Twitter that it's fin del viaje, the end of the journey. I don't know if that's actually a retirement tweet or not, but that's what it sounds like. It was literally just these three words. And I think Dominic's loss, if he lost had he lost yesterday, like it would have been a pretty similarly tough one on him. So, well, for now he's going to play Kokkinakis, who yesterday crashed Grégoire Barrère. Pretty funny story because Kokkinakis played his last two matches against the Frenchman. One of them was in Bucharest on Wednesday, and the other one yesterday on Monday. Very different results, very different performances. In Bucharest, he lost in two sets. Yesterday, he won in two sets. I do think that the second result was a little more normal, given that Thanasi, well, in Bucharest, he was flying over from Sarasota, where he, of course, ensured his top 100 and ensured his Roland Garros main draw right at the cutoff date. And then I don't think he had enough time really to prepare for that event. Whereas now that he played Barrère also in Madrid and like these faster altitude-ish clay conditions, although that should be good for Barrère too. But now that he had more time to prepare, he managed to crush him 6-2, 6-2. So he's clearly the favorite of this match. If Thiem wins, it will be a minor surprise. I can't say a big one because we know that Kokkinakis can be a bit all over the place and well, still isn't using his potential to its absolute like maximum. But I think he's of course a very good clay player with that wristy, spinny forehand, and also in terms of the quicker conditions in Madrid, that's nice for him too. So let's see. This is the third match on court number 4 today. I think later it's also going to be maybe Ajdukovic-Gasquet. As it stands right now, that probably will be the last match that gets played today in men's qualifying. I think out of these players who haven't started yet, we also have Hamad Medjedovic against Francisco Comesaña, which will be a blockbuster too. I mean, Hamad coming back yesterday after another 1 month break. He beats Hugo Gaston from a set and a breakdown. He wins the last 10. He wins 10 of the last 11 games, and hopefully this time he's back for good and back with a vengeance as well. Like he could be that sort of mega duper hidden dark horse, right, in this draw. Like literally, I mean, of course, I'm talking about the main event, not the qualifying. Here he's not a dark horse at all, but in the main draw, like considering the conditions, I would love his chances last year. He's actually a fabulous fast clay player. I mean, he won Mauthausen last year, Ludenscheid a couple of years ago. Well, yeah, a couple of years ago already. So yeah, very excited to see if he can bring it again today, especially as Komesania just broke the top 100 last week and is also on a bit of a win streak now, 6 of them, despite struggling in a lot of these early matches last week in Oeiras. We still also have on the court Federico Coria against Pablo Llamas Ruiz. Llamas Ruiz won the first set, and Benjamin Hassan against Shintaro Mochizuki. I gotta say, I had to check twice. Like when I saw the match in the final round between Hassan and Mochizuki, I was like, wait, is this Madrid? And well, it is. Sorry to both players. No disrespect meant, but it just kind of stands out to me. But anyway, Mochizuki yesterday, of course, beat Alexandre Miller, and Hassan beat Emilio Nava. So they both definitely deserve to be where they are. And that's a pretty good start from Thanasi as well. A couple of great forehands directed here. First crossed and that winner inside in. He actually kicked off with an unforced error off that wing as well, but for now he's been able to dominate and just stay on top of the points with it. And that's kind of the key to success, probably, considering how little threat there seems to be recently from Domi's game. But we'll see about it. I remember when we had these like no streams, but like these short talks in Oeiras. Basil joined us for one. Oeiras Estoril. Basil joined us for one of them, and I remember he said that like with every week, Thiem is playing even shorter. You know, that the depth on his shots is like even short. It's even there's even less of it every week, and that's kind of what it's felt like recently. I mean, we'll see. He does have a big mountain to climb here, and especially as Kokkinakis wraps up the first game with yet another forehand winner. Hey Jake, hey Terry. We've got a new member as well, Walter, thank you. We are very, very glad. Something didn't work though with streaming on Twitch. Sorry, not on Twitch, but on Twitter. I'm not really sure how to fix it. I don't know if John will be able to either, but I will text him about it. As I said earlier, I'm just going to be here for the next 40 minutes, then he's going to take over. Anyhow, Thanasi Kokkinakis, of course, won the first game. Let's see what Thiem can do by now. Yesterday, as I said, against Meligeni Alves, it wasn't pretty. So it's a big task ahead. We'll see if he can get it done. He could as well, and I think the same goes for Kokkinakis. Like they potentially could get lucky loser spots, I think. Let me actually see how it is in the draw. The umpire is called for a mark inspection. I think I agree with him that this serve from Thiem was probably in. I wonder if that means we are replaying or does Thiem win the point right away? I don't remember where Kokkinakis' return landed, to be honest. He definitely barely got to it, but I think he might have actually put it in the court. Yeah, that's what it seems like, as it's going to be a replay now. So when it comes to the potential lucky loser situation, Tirante already lost, Bautista Agut already lost, and these are the 3rd and 5th seed. So it might actually be tricky for Kokkinakis or Thiem to get in, from what I can see, especially if Coria loses to Llamas Ruiz, because Coria is the 2nd seed in Madrid qualifying. A couple of decent forehands here from Thiem. Eventually, that one stretches Kokkinakis far wide to the forehand corner and draws out an error. Kokkinakis is the 8th seed and Thiem is the 14th. I think that basically means, for the moment, that they are pretty much guaranteed. Well, one of them is guaranteed to be the 4th in the lucky loser collection. I wonder how many we already have in terms of how many are going to be drawn. Let me see if I can find that quickly. But we definitely had some withdrawals. I mean, Dan Evans pulled out. That much I remember. And is that it? Maybe that's it. Maybe there's one more. So it's kind of tricky, but the loser of this is guaranteed to be fourth in line. So like if the number of withdrawals goes up, maybe. Well, fourth in line or third if Coria beats Llamas Ruiz. So actually, if Coria beats Llamas Ruiz and there are already two open, for example, then the draw would consist of 3 players. I mean, it's not impossible for the loser of this match to also get in. But, well, obviously that's not going to be really how they approach this match. And they definitely will feel like they need to win it because no one wants that kind of nerves and no one wants to wait for more withdrawals. A moonball backhand return from Thanasi Kokkinakis. Oh, and he's definitely struggling for consistency on that wing for now. That was a funky rally where like the first shot he plays is that moonball, the second barely clips the baseline, and the third clips the net and actually gives him the point. So he won it, but it seems like neither shot was too clean, like all that clean. But what matters most is the end result for sure. Controlling his returns so far pretty tough for Kokkinakis, it seems, and Thiem will get a game point. Of course, last year, if we're thinking of the Thiem career, last year there was that fabulous match that he played against Tsitsipas here, right, in Madrid. So, especially if we think of that from that perspective, what he showed on the court yesterday, like it just kind of reminds us that he is kind of in a worse spot than he was last year, which is pretty shocking. But who knows? I mean, sometimes it just takes one good match. Let's see if he can shake that off here. Overcooks that backhand cross court. When it comes to Thiem's previous records in Madrid, of course, that used to be one of his favorite venues between 2017 and 2021, so 4 consecutive editions because Madrid was not held in 2020. He made the semifinals on all 4 occasions and also got to the final twice. Never won it. Still, his only ATP 1000 title that he has is Indian Wells, but he lost to Nadal in the 2017 final, Zverev in the 2018 final, Djokovic in the 2019 semifinal, and in the 2021 semifinal, he once again lost to Alexander Zverev, who, as we mentioned on the ATP Weekly and other stuff, has a phenomenal record in Madrid, 21-4, I think, if memory serves right. This might be an opportunity for Thiem to get that game done, but what an ugly forehand at the end. Forced Thanasi to slice, really sets himself up for a ball that he potentially could kill. I think he was maybe a little hesitating whether to go down the line or cross, and then he just completely breaks that forehand motion. And when it comes to Kokkinakis, he's actually only playing this event for the 3rd time. Last year, he lost to Jaume Munar in 2 tiebreaks, and in 2015, he managed to push through the qualifying and lost to Sam Querrey. So not many appearances in Madrid over the years. So if we're saying that the conditions suit him, we're kind of operating this like we're kind of operating on assumptions rather than actually past results. I do think that even yesterday was kind of a good example, though, proof of that. And he will get a break point here. Just survives in the rally long enough for Thiem to crack. There's probably going to be quite a lot of that, I think, from Thanasi today, especially on return. Like, when Tommy is on the offense, he'll probably just try to stay clean on that backhand side that will be targeted and eventually pick up some errors that will be coming from Thiem's racket. And I think he just broke. Yeah, Thiem was expecting this forehand counter to go out, but it rolls itself into the court. So 2 games to love. Thanasi Kokkinakis wasn't an easy start because, of course, Thiem had a game point here, but still, it's when it comes to the scoreboard, it's as perfect as he could have hoped for. So already an early break for the Australian. And again, I don't want to say anything big picture yet because Thiem has a lot of time in this match. I just really, it's impossible to watch him in Madrid this year and not think about last year when clearly he kind of made a step back, right? I mean, he's declined since last year, which is exactly what he was trying to avoid. And in fact, even last year, he was not satisfied with his level, with his ranking, with his results. He was trying to go higher, and he's actually gone backwards, it seems. But we'll see. Maybe there's still time, although he's definitely running out of it, especially if he loses this match. 2 unreturned serves for Thanasi. First one almost in with that moonball from Thiem, but the latter is just an ace. I think the way I'm seeing this now, the way I've sort of been thinking about this matchup the last day or so, it just kind of seems like as long as Thanasi stays clear in his head and just doesn't let anything get to him, he should be winning this one. But we know that it's not always that simple with him. And there's been years when we were expecting a lot from Thanasi Kokkinakis when he was finally healthy and then could just basically disappear for 6 months or at a time and win nothing for large chunks of the year. So I don't know if he's always in that sort of right mindset mentally, but clearly so far today he started well. And this was just a very clean game. Thiem trying to crash this one forehand cross, but he misses it, and otherwise it's just 3 unreturned serves for the Australian. Kokkinakis is one of my guys, says Ghosty. No disrespect to Thiem, but I'd love to see him do well in Madrid. Yeah, I think Thanasi could be one of the most dangerous qualifiers. In fact, this is kind of like a cyclical thing, right? I mean, where most Masters thousands last year, the most dangerous qualifier, we were always mentioning Thanasi Kokkinakis. This year, like Lucas Klein kind of took over for him, but now Kokkinakis is a little lower in the rankings again, and basically Kokkinakis and Klein just seem to be the most dangerous guys coming from this qualifying draw. Maybe add Nakashima to it, although he was actually pretty non-impressive, I would say, in the qualies. I still think he's, pretty dangerous. Then we got Korente Mute maybe as well in some good form this year. And I think, again, if Medjedovic is going to be like really back healthy and back for good, then he might be like this great wild card. But otherwise, yeah, I think it's Kokkinakis and Klein again that potentially could like really do major things in the draw if landing into the right possible opportunity. While we've had the women's main draw already starting, we also have the last matches of the qualifying today. I don't know if anything particularly exciting has happened. Some youngsters pulling through like Bejlek, some underrated players like Buzas Maneiro. We've had, Maria Timofeyeva is now leading Harriet Dart. I would be pretty surprised if Dart won that one on clay, but and the legend Sara Errani is also on the court at the moment. But yeah, still a lot of action there as well. Of course, today we will also learn where the qualifiers will land in the draw, and that will not be easy to. What did I want to say? I don't even know. I mean, that will of course happen when all the qualifying matches are done. Well, at least Thiem gets himself going a little bit here with this inside in forehand. It wasn't even that short, the return from Kokkinakis, so if he's looking for that early confidence, maybe that's going to be a bit of a Kickstarter, because so far he hasn't had it, and clearly he didn't have it yesterday. Kokkinakis slicing here, trying to go down the line with the backhand. As I mentioned earlier, I probably would have liked a bit more of a solid approach from him on return, but it's fine because he's already up a break, right? So he can kind of do whatever with this game as long as he keeps holding. So maybe this is a good moment to try something as well. Try to put even more pressure on Thiem. And the way of doing that definitely would be such a massive forehand return. good example as well of like standing far back and yet still generating so much on it. I think it fell very nicely into his strike zone on the forehand. It's just way too much velocity coming at Thiem cross court. Of course, can't quite produce something like that of the backhand side, and now he's gonna be forced to trade with Thiem from that wing. Yeah, but again, the depth on the Thiem backhand is like a little shaky. It allows Thanasi to step around. It allows him to find his forehand, and that ends the point essentially. So for the all, really dangerous moments for Thiem, because obviously going 2 breaks down here would probably seal the deal in these very unusual clay conditions. Well, of course, not as unusual as they would be in like Bogota or whatever, but still unusual for a big event. Let's say that there's no ATP 500s and above at least a bit of altitude, right? And yeah, that's another good forehand return. I'm not really sure what Thiem is trying to find there with these second serves, but Thanasi is pretty comfortable to stay back, give himself a lot of time, get these RPMs going on the ball, and a couple of returns like this on the deuce side in the game, and now it's going to be Thiem under yet another breakpoint. Second serve, good too. So this can get really ugly if Kokkinakis can find another one of these returns. Probably not going to be easy on the outside though. Yeah, Thiem like going at the backhand very obviously, but that's what you gotta do in this one. Let's see if he can find anything off the ground. Well, he can, because Kokkinakis misses his slice cross court. I'm not sure if he's complaining about the bounce or something, because that was, well, just didn't set up for it well. I don't know. But we are back at deuce. A couple of shots that Thiem had to play here. He held his nerve. And the last 2 points on the outside were both massive second serve. On the deuce side were both massive second serve returns from Kokkinakis. This time, Thiem will not allow him to play that shot. He serves to his backhand. Still is kinda in trouble in the point. If Kokkinakis can find this, and he does, what a winner! Inside in. Again, like the sort of power he goes for here probably shouldn't work out, but it does because of all that spin he puts on the ball. The ball manages to find its way into the court, and it's another break point for him. Did Thiem miss that first serve, really? I thought it was in, but that's a lot of first serves missed, by the way, in this game. Again, goes at the backhand, of course. Is Kokkinakis going to be able to recover? He tracks down the Thiem drop shot. I don't think Domi needed to play the last shot. I think Kokkinakis threw it out already. But anyway, he doesn't make a mess of it, so it's all fine. This time, I guess he uses that backwards, like return position of Kokkinakis to his advantage very well. The kicker, second serve to the backhand, and then just giving that drop shot. Well, it wasn't great, but because Kokkinakis was so far back, he still had like an enormous amount of ground to cover. Wow, and we have the first beat of Team Magic. Just a little bit like, let's say that the return from Kokkinakis just doesn't have any angle on it, and Thiem is instantly there to pounce the backhand inside out winner. Lovely shot. Oh, actually, this was more of a down the line. Actually, I mean, yeah, I got carried away there, but still, phenomenal, and kind of the first real moment, first real gem that we saw of Thiem in this match, and honestly, the first gem of Thiem in this entire tournament, because yesterday he really wasn't playing well. Well, I didn't see the entire match, so I might have missed one of these, but that's not really the point that I'm going for, which I'm pretty sure you know what I'm trying to say. Stefano says Sinner can win the Madrid Open. Sure. I think he's probably the main favorite, given that Alcaraz has been out. I am definitely in deeper, darkest Poland, yes. How often do they change the line judges? I honestly can't tell you. Like, it's every few games. I don't know, maybe like 7 or something. I legit don't know. There are probably some rules, but yeah, I mean, Andrescu at least has the injury, right? I mean, she's been injured for so many years, months right now. Thiem, well, it depends how much we believe that that wrist injury messed up the actual mechanics of his stroke, which is kind of like the main point of discussion these days about Thiem, whether this is only mental or whether this is like literally the wrist injury messing up his strokes completely. So personally, I am like probably more so towards the mechanic nature of this, but we'll see. And yeah, Gina, I absolutely agree. When it comes to Sean's question about Thiem being in the French Open qualifiers, we don't have the list yet, but I don't really see a reason why he would skip that. When it comes to alternates for the main draw, he is currently 7th, which I don't think is going to be enough. I think it's he has to think that basically, yeah, you gotta go for it. I think he has to think of himself as playing the qualies. If it happens, if so many players withdraw, sure, that would be great. But at 7, I don't think you can really expect it. We still don't have the list for Roland Garros qualifying. That will be out next week, so we don't know who actually signed up. But I can't really imagine Domi skipping it. Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, the stats have shown a significant drop in his ground stroke pace. They haven't really been pulled out that much in the last year or so, but right after the injury, that was very often shown in TV broadcasts. And yes, the stats do suggest it. I don't think that actually shows us that the wrist is a factor, Sean, because that could also be a matter of confidence, how much heaviness you produce on the stroke, right? So even though I am more towards that explanation, mechanical, I guess, rather than mechanic, I would still say that that this actually doesn't help out all that much in terms of understanding what exactly has happened or understanding where the balance lies, rather, because it's pretty clear that it's both things. And thank you, Thorsten, as well, 2 new members on the stream. Although I have to say I am kind of cheating because Walter did like sub a lot before the stream. So Walter did that like probably an hour before the stream started. But anyway, I'm still gonna count it as 2 new members on the stream. And Thanasi Kokkinakis can count this game as his fourth, basically, as he wins at 2:15. There was this one point where Thiem maybe pressured him a bit. There was a drop shot lob combo, I think, if I remember correctly, but then all the quicker serve plus 1 forehand points just go Kokkinakis' way. As Jean says, Pablo Yamasru is serving for the match against Coria, which is not good news for Thiem or Kokkinakis, as that would put them a little bit further in the lucky loser conversation. And there was also one moment. Oh yeah, I wonder if Kok and Munar ever run into each other in the Madrid canteen. I actually think they're fine with each other. Like, even during that conversation, they eventually like got to an agreement, right? Like, basically, one of them just said, I can't remember who stirred this up, but like one of them just said, like, I have nothing against you, and then they were like, yeah, chill, nice, friendly. So I think that drama was only like there during the actual match. I don't think it lasted even beyond the discussion at the handshake. But yeah, that's kind of what this match is remembered for, right? 2023. I mean, Kokkinakis is fighting to make his third main draw appearance in Madrid, but Actually, everyone knows one of these matches because of that drama with Munar last year. Yes. 5:13 p.m. So John has like 17 minutes to get here. We'll see. But basically, he will take over pretty soon, as I will have to leave. But as the way it's going right now, it's probably actually very likely that we might even get set one done by this point. So we'll see. I obviously cannot tell you who they're going to play in the potential draw because we will get qualifiers and lucky losers drawn later when all the matches are over. But I can tell you that there's like a fair few spots which you wanna get into. Kotov, for example, I think or Galan maybe even especially is a potential draw for a qualifier that they will enjoy. I think there's a couple of qualifier versus qualifier matches as well, which is always nice. You can also draw. Who else was that? There was someone else who was like Chorich is pretty doable, semi-finalist from last year, right? So, well, it's not clear. Dan Evans withdrew, so it's going to be like a qualifier matchup as well. Maybe Yuncheng Shang is still a player you wanna draw. I don't think I would in general, given his talent level, but you can still beat him. So there are quite a few spots that someone like Thanasi Kokkinakis especially could take care of. And Pablo Llamas Ruiz has indeed beaten Federico Coria, which I think by now basically gives us clarity on the fact that the winner the loser of Thiem against Kokkinakis will be the fourth highest ranked loser to go out in the final qualifying round, which means that provided there are no more than provided there aren't three withdrawals by the time we finish qualifying, that would mean that they will be fourth in line for that lucky loser spot. Because if there are just two withdrawals, then three names will be in the draw for the lucky loser spots, and the fourth will be already automatic. So, basically, the chances are there, but they are pretty slim for either player. Now we have Coria as the second seed who already lost. Number 3 seed who already lost someone that I'm forgetting right now, and definitely number 5 Tirante as well. 30-15 here. Team recovers in this one though. Who is the third seed that lost? Bautista Agut, yeah. That's pretty surprising that Ramos managed to beat Bautista Agut. I thought he was done when he was low 5 down at the second set. That maybe physically he just doesn't have anything left. Will Rusevori play? He's been struggling with a back injury. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Will Alcaraz play? That's a big one, right? And that's a lucky loser spot that potentially could get you into the second round already. Rusevori hasn't played since Miami, so he's also definitely one of these guys in danger. That's a nice one for Thiem to maybe build up some momentum, build up some confidence for the next points. Finished it off with a pretty big smash too. He didn't it wasn't the easiest opportunity. He was going kind of off the baseline, but had no issues going after the shot and trusting himself. Let's see if he can keep trusting himself to win this game as well and stay within touching distance of Kokkinakis. Well, throwing in that second serve into the middle of the service box. That's just a return winner from Thanasi. And this backhand error from Thiem puts him in a tough position yet again. He approaches the net, gonna have to finish it off on a volley, which is actually really nice. Some good soft touch. So even if he's getting himself into trouble with that previous shot, now he climbs out of it in style. But yeah, I mean, this is like every single service game we are fighting, right? He has to fight for his life every single service game now. Can Team finally clinch that game? Not really, as again he just serves a bit predictably. The second serve kicker to the Kokkinakis backhand. There's clearly a difference in attitude from Thanasi here the last game really. Standing a little closer, stepping in to take these backhand returns, and he manages to get another point done like this. Finds a very similar angle to this return winner earlier. This time has to finish it off with a forehand drive volley as well. So we are again at deuce. And again, it's just this. I can't even describe these backhand errors from Thiem, but they're kind of like purposeless. You just try to drive through the ball without any real sense of direction and throw it out 2 meters out, and so high as well. So one more break point for Kokkinakis, but his return will not land in here. So yeah, I mean, once again, Thiem is just hanging by a thread. And Thiem with a double fault here. He was trying to go for it. Points to the sun as well as one of the factors involved here. So yeah, breakpoint Kokkinakis once again. Thanasi trying to make sure that I watch at least one full set before having to leave. Oh wow, that's just insane. I mean, that's the decision making from Thiem here. I mean, yeah, he himself like had no idea what he was doing with this shot. Again, Kokkinakis stepping in a little bit more to that backhand return. Not to say that it did like any major damage, but you could see Thiem suddenly switching from the idea of choosing to just hit it topspin to the slice, and then eventually he hit like a half measure, which just lands in the net. How do you get a half measure between a topspin drive and a slice? I mean, it was definitely closer to the slice, but you could just see the indecisiveness that Thiem was facing here. 5-1 Kokkinakis, and this is looking more and more brutal by the minute. Some good depth on the backhand here. Gets Thiem the point though. Kokkinakis just trying to play with his spin edit, but doesn't manage to handle how long that ball was from Domi. So 15-0. But the first point was, of course, an unreturned serve, which he's been getting quite a lot of too. Another good one, and even off his backhand, Thanasi is able to clean up the return. It's a forced error, but still. Tough to beat him when he's serving like this, and, well, still pressuring Thiem in every return game pretty much. Ace out wide, 40-15, and 2 set points for Thanasi Kokkinakis, who is blitzing past Dominic Thiem here. And that's an ace as well. I mean, an ace, an unreturned serve as well, but practically impossible to get that. 6-1 Thanasi Kokkinakis, very short, very quick, and very decisive. I mean, this was utter, complete domination in the opening set. Thiem has a lot to think about as he heads to the changeover. And we'll see if this is salvageable in any way or not. For now, things are just looking brutal. So RBA lost from 5-love up. No. It was the third. Yeah, it was the second set. But Ramos basically managed to fight back. And by the time he was love 5, it was like, okay, is he just done? But, well, clearly he wasn't. And he even won the third. And Meligeni Alves indeed should have beaten Thiem yesterday. Still, you never know. I mean, from time to time, Domi just plays a very good match, a bit out of nowhere. And pushes Stefanos Tsitsipas twice into very high quality contests last year. He makes the Kitzbühel final. But as we said earlier, I mean, this year it just feels like he's taken a step back. Like he's even worse. He's declined, and that's obviously the opposite of what he was trying to do. He's still like what is he, like 6-7 for the year or something like that, which doesn't seem that bad. But if you think about it, I mean, McCabe, he almost lost to in Brisbane before qualifying. He had some absolutely horrible losses so far, like the one to Michalski or Neumeier. Marterer in Estoril, that was, a bit of a Pyrrhic win too. Just the way that they were both out of confidence, so low on confidence, and, well, clearly they did not play well at all. And since then, he's only beaten Meligeni Alves, who, as Jean says, I mean, this was truly an unbelievable choke yesterday. And it's not looking too bright so far against Thanasi. Thiem's game relied on power. Is there any way he can change his style, maybe coming to net more? I actually think the reasonable, like the only possible way for Thiem to play without all these RPMs and, like, with his lesser confidence and probably some wrist issues too, like in terms of how his motions look now, is maybe to be like a more of a counter puncher and like play this style oriented maybe more towards slicing the ball and then finding his spots to attack with the backhand down the line. Maybe something like Musetti is playing in a way. Like that's kind of what I would imagine Thiem as right now. He definitely cannot play his previous like ball bashing style. Yes, like that's unattainable for him at the moment. Could he be a very good counter puncher? It's tough to say. I mean, I think at least on paper, yeah. But when we see him try something like this, well, by the better players, he still gets kind of walloped, and I don't know. It's definitely a tough situation for him. He needs to sort of make do with what he has at the moment and forget how he was playing in the past, but obviously that's not been going too well for him. But yeah, I think there is some space for Thiem to rebrand his tennis. It's just, he hasn't done that in what, 3 years by now? No, 2 years, right? He hasn't done that in 2 years by now. So I don't know if he ever will. And just the way he's playing at the moment, I kind of more expect a retirement announcement rather than anything else. Hello, John.
Hey, how are you?
Fine. This plan didn't really work out for us, I suppose. But
In terms of what, it being a great match
no, in terms of you're gonna finish it off. Although actually, maybe it's also going to be this short, and then we kind of both get a set.
Yeah, and I mean, I knew when I set it up that the potential start time of 3 o'clock could be 4:30. I've just turned on YouTube, are you watching on YouTube or are you watching some other way?
I'm not watching on YouTube. I was trying to find streams at the beginning, in the morning, but I couldn't. What's the channel? Like, what is the?
It's just, I think, Madrid YouTube channel, I think.
Yeah. I tried on ATP and on Tennis TV, so that's probably why it didn't work out. And then I just sort of resorted to the usual, to my usual streaming services. But yeah, basically I will have to leave in like 2-3 minutes, so I'll get ready to go. But
yeah, I actually have a couple of questions for you about talking tennis. Rather than no, it's fine. You can walk around and stuff as long as you can hear me. And it's just that I'm thinking about a show. When are you coming back tonight?
Yeah.
So I might, depending on my energy levels, but we could do like a qualifying roundup tonight if you want.
Okay. I'll be back at 9:30.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, even if they haven't quite finished by then, which knowing Madrid.
I think they will.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, basically the last match about to start is after this one. I do Kovic-Gasquet, I think. There's also Medjedovic-Comesaña. But like that all should be done really by 9-ish.
Cool. Yeah. Well, provisionally anyway, we can do a show tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be 9:30, on the dot as well. Right?
Yeah, sometime tonight. The other thing is, I'll probably do a watch along myself tomorrow lunchtime ish. You can join me if you want. Tomorrow during the day, sort of maybe a bit earlier than today. I might even get 2 or 3 of us to just sort of come on and just talk about various matches.
So you don't know for which match? Okay, I was asking for.
No.
Okay. No. Tomorrow I'm pretty free.
Yeah.
I'll do something tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll probably do this is just provisional, so audience don't go crazy if it doesn't happen, but we'll probably do a show tonight, rounding up the qualifiers and day 2, you could call it, I guess, in Madrid. And we'll do that tonight. And then tomorrow we'll probably have 2 streams, one in the day and one at night. At night, I've got a few people like Nick and a couple of others lined up. So we might just do sort of a multi-match stream for those that have streams at different paces. Well, are you going to play ping pong, table tennis?
Yeah.
Wow, you're really getting into this at the moment. Oh, what was going to say? I've been watching some snooker as well.
Yeah, the World Championship, sure. Ronnie O'Sullivan going for a calendar Grand Slam.
Okay, what is that then? That's obviously the World Championship. That's the UK Championship, is it, as well?
Yeah, and the Masters. Basically, it's like 3 players have done that, I think, but he actually hasn't, so it would be pretty big. And he also hasn't won. Well, basically, he would have 8 at every single of these events if he wins the World Championship. So it would be pretty big.
Yeah. I'm just getting some water. All right. Well, anyway, you can sail off into the deepest, darkest Polish moonlight. I don't know what you want to call it. But anyway, we'll see you later.
That's actually still sun. Like it's just the lighting. If I move my computer, it would be a very different. Oh yeah.
Oh, by the way, the for those of you joining in wondering why Damien and I are just having a casual conversation, there was a break at the end of that first set, but they have now got back underway with Dominic Thiem serving first, and at least he's won the first point of this.
I hope that's not Hies Brouwer. I hope that's not the real Hies Brouwer. Of course, there are a couple of different letters missing, but I hope he's not saying that. I mean, he's just won his match in Savannah, so theoretically he could be watching Dominic Thiem. But yeah, I mean, I get the sentiment. I mean, definitely, this is pretty rough to watch, for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty rough in Estoril as well, to be honest.
It was, but at least the win, and then we were all thinking that, well, he needs to beat Gasquet, right, because of how Gasquet looked in the qualies. But
Yeah.
well, that didn't happen. Is the schedule out already for tomorrow? I don't think it is. They might wait for the qualifiers, actually, although, well, for the qualifiers to be put into the draw, although at least in theory they know who is playing when, right? Like which half is playing tomorrow. So maybe they don't actually need to do that. But yeah, it's not out yet anyway.
It looks like the Madrid stream has frozen, which is great for me. But there we go. I'll still manage to bluff my way through this somehow. All right,
But it's still nice. It's still nice, by the way, that a lot of events this year have started putting their qualifying on YouTube. I suspect that this is an ATP initiative rather than the events itself. But yeah, I mean, if Tennis TV isn't doing it, someone should, and it's good that they are. All right, I'll go now. And,
all right.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck to Dominic Thiem to at least make this competitive. After watching the first set, I don't know if I really believe it, but let's see. See ya.
See ya. Bye. Well, Dominic Thiem has indeed held serve, and Terry's saying that his stream has frozen too. I think I did just check on my phone, thinking that it might be my TV. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can find it elsewhere, maybe, because doing a watch along with a frozen stream is not helpful, let's say. Let's have a quick look at some other stuff. Yeah, it seems like everyone's stream is frozen. I did have a quick look at my general thing to see if let's have a quick look at another stream. We've got Federico Correa, Pablo Llamas Ruiz. Maybe this one is working, this particular stream. No, this one is frozen as well, it would seem. Madrid is frozen. By the way, for those of you tuning in for the first time, it looks like we've got a few new people in the chat. Hi, Jake, by the way. Please do hit the like button and hit subscribe. We are trying to get to 8,000 subscribers. Probably we won't make 8,000 today, but you never know. How far are we away from 8,000 right now? We are 86 subscribers away from 8,000. So it'd be great if we can hit that. If not today, then very, very soon. 86 subscribers from 8,000. Let's go. Yes, it looks like all streams. I'm actually therefore going to connect briefly, at least, and have a quick look to see what's going on the women's side of the tour, because, of course, some round one matches have happened today. I saw some round ones matches. I haven't done some qualifiers as well. By the way, do let me know in the live chat what you think with Dominic Thiem at the moment, whether you think the end is nigh. I am fearing the worst. I think we may well be looking at Thiem, Gasquet. I've got Diana Schneider against Potapova on my TV right now. I think that is a round one match as well, with Potapova up a break in the first set. Schneider serving at 3-5. I will keep the Dominic Thiem keep the Dominic Thiem score on there. Let me know, by the way, if your streams unfreeze themselves. Yes, it is, Arman. It is indeed frozen, and I don't know why, but it seems like everybody's has frozen. Maybe Spain is doing another siesta, indeed. But we have got some good news for Dominic Thiem right now. He's got 3 break points. I'm going to focus on this Schneider-Potapova match, by the way, in the meantime, as I see a lovely winner there from Potapova. Schneider at 3-5 serving. Looks like she's got some strapping on her leg. Also, let me know about the Madrid tournament as a whole, who you think is going to win the tournament, etc., etc. I'm thinking, Rybakina. There's 4 clay court tournaments on the women's side, and 2 of them seem more set up for Rybakina than the other 2, despite the fact that she's obviously had some good results in Paris and especially in Rome, where she won the tournament last year. For me, she probably got a little fortunate in the fact that Swiatek was slightly off color in the semi-final in Rome. I think it was it quarterfinal they met. And then obviously in the final, she played a very cooked opponent. And also that could be a lot tougher. So I think that might be an outlier, that tournament win, and we might end up seeing her over the years perform much better in Madrid and Stuttgart than we do in Paris and Rome. So I'm talking myself into tipping her to win this title in Madrid. Again, I think Swiatek, a bit like Nadal in a way, she's kind of the opposite in that I think Madrid will always be sort of the tougher clay court event for her. Because of the altitude, etc., and the conditions there, maybe not suiting her quite as much as slow clay does. Let me know if your streams unfreeze and I will switch back. But Kokkinakis has saved 2 of the break points so far. Thank you for all of you who are subscribing, by the way. We've now just gained another 3 subscribers in the last few minutes. If you're watching on Twitter, by the way, can you hit the retweet button? That would be very, very helpful. Also get in the comments and let me know. So I'm going for Rybakina on the women's side. On the men's side, Jannik Sinner, is that crazy or ambitious? Probably not. Kokkinakis saving a 3rd break point, so we got it back to deuce. So unfortunately, Dominic Thiem fans are going to have to calm down again. Yeah, I'm watching Schneider, Terry. Who's got it to 4-5, by the way. She held serve. Also, if you're watching on Instagram, you feel free to comment in your comments section. Let's know what you think about this tournament, maybe some of the matches that are happening today, maybe what you think about Dominic Thiem and where his career is going to go or even end up this year. Yeah, I'm afraid I don't have an optimistic outlook. I mean, he said to us in Madrid, in Estoril, he said that the old Dominic Thiem, I've stopped looking for that. I've stopped comparing myself to that. That's gone. I think really now he's just looking to try and maintain his career and stay inside the top 100. And I think if he's, basically a permanent fixture outside the top 100, then I guess he'll probably call it a day. And my guess is that will come sometime this year, but we'll see. Potapova goes long there. So she's love 15. She's trying to serve out this first set. And bad, even worse news for Dominic Thiem is that Kokkinakis from love 40 has indeed held. So back over to you, Dominic, to try and eke out another advantage here. Having just won 2 games, though, from 9, the outlook isn't great. Kokkinakis, by the way, on this surface, I know that Damien is pretty enthusiastic about the Australian on this surface. I guess he's a bit of an outlier in that respect. Normally, the Australians tend to be better on hard courts and sometimes grass as well. But Kokkinakis on clay is a thing, at least according to Damien. As Schneider goes long, so it's 15-30. Carlos, if arm is okay. Yeah, I just think that a few things with Carlos at the moment. I still think that he's not quite there, and he might just need another tournament or 2. Yeah, so it's kind of a few doubts about a bunch of players, and I don't really have many doubts about Jannik Sinner. By the way, thank you for the new members, Walter and Torsten. Wonderful that you became members today. you are going to reap the rewards with that, with some extra bonus footage that you'll see for members only. You can also get perks such as emojis for the live chat, and you will also be supporting the channel. But yes, always bonus material for members out there, including interviews with top players. Jake there saying he thinks that Thiem is done, and Ghosty's backing Kokkinakis, I guess, to win this match. I'm guessing that doesn't mean Ghosty, you're tipping Kokkinakis to win the whole tournament. Now, that would be wild, both as a prediction and if it ever happened, or if it happened, sorry. I didn't actually see it, but I think Potapova has wasted that chance at serving out the first set. Indeed, we're at 5-all. She's looking very frustrated, as you would imagine. It's a lovely backhand winner, though, there from Potapova. Dominic Thiem here with 3 game points. Do let me know if the streams are unfreezing themselves. Do hit the like button, by the way, and if you are new to the channel, hit subscribe, as Dominic Thiem does indeed hold, so he's already 1 step further than he was in the previous set. By the way, I didn't see any of the previous set. Is it as ugly from Dominic's perspective as the scoreline and Damien's commentary suggested? Yeah, I think I do remember you saying Strathfield win Madrid. I'm just pleased that he got over the line, because when he lost that Madrid final last year, and then he also had match points in Stuttgart against Tiafoe and didn't take them, I thought, oh dear. And then he had some bad injuries last year. We've got 3 break points here for Potapova, by the way, at 5-all. I thought, oh. And then he hasn't really shown a great deal of form since coming back from injury. So, yeah, super happy for him. Super happy for Strathfield. And even if he never wins another title, he'll always have Munich. Not pretty, Ghosty. Not pretty. I'm assuming that's regarding Dominic Thiem. 3 break points here for Potapova. It's unsurprisingly on her racket. She comes into the net and she puts the winner away. And so she regains the break advantage she had, and she will have a second chance at serving out the first set. We will take a short break, and then we'll be with you for the conclusion of this set, and we'll also have an eye on Dominic Thiem against Kokkinakis. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. All things tennis indeed. There's Jose Morgado sharing an image of the match there between Thiem and Kokkinakis, and just showing you how packed the stands are for that. Dominic Thiem, despite his form, still brings in a crowd, hoping, perhaps beyond hope, that he can regain some of the form of yesteryear. Here, by the way, Potapova is serving at 6-5 for the first set, and it's gone better for her than in the previous game because she's already eked out a 2-point advantage at 30 love with that unreturned serve. Would Nadal winning the French? That's a good question. Would Nadal win the French be more surprising than Medvedev winning the French this year? Maybe. I don't know. I still think that if Nadal says he's prepared to die on the court, like he said, maybe he can win some matches. And if he wins some matches and he's in the second week, you know, I'm not predicting Nadal to win the French Open, but Nadal has won it 14 times before, and I think Medvedev will never win it. So probably I'm suggesting Medvedev would still be the bigger surprise. But they would be equally stunning, perhaps. Got some set points here for Potapova. Schneider's on the run. Potapova, of course, she goes big for it with a forehand. It's not going to be big enough. Schneider defends it. It does look like I'm watching tennis in slow motion, which for Potapova, that's unusual. Anyway, Schneider saves one of the first set points. So it's 40-15. Looks like it's a pretty breezy day in Madrid at the moment. I know it can be pretty hot there at this time of the year. Ghosty saying that I winning it. Yeah, it would surprise me too. But, you know, he's won 14 of the things. So, yeah. I mean, Nadal winning Madrid, by the way, even when he's on top form, is a kind of surprise, bearing in mind he hasn't won it in such a long time. But he's in anything but top form at the moment, of course. So set point, and it's done with a forehand winner. Potapova takes the first set. Let's go back over to Kokkinakis against Dominic Thiem at 2-all. Let's have a quick look to see if the stream is working now. I bet it's not, but I'm going to try all the same. Nope, still frozen. Which is a pity. I see Pliskova, Buskova, and Martic have all pulled out of the Madrid tournament with injuries. I see Dan Evans is also pulled out. Carlos Alcaraz saying that his arm is pretty good because obviously he's had that injury. Said he had a good practice yesterday and he even put a bit more intensity into his practice today and the arm responded well. Responding well to that first set loss is Dominic Thiem, 2-all, 30 love to the Austrian. Kokkinakis hit 3 aces past Dominic in this match so far. I had a Twitter poll that I want to mention to you because I'm keen to know your thoughts on this poll that I posted a couple of days ago. And so the result is there. I'm going to share it on the screen in a second. Let's see if I can find the Twitter poll. I'll tell you the question anyway. So the question was, which is more likely, Elena Rybakina to win the French Open or Iga Swiatek to win Wimbledon this year? And that's the result. I think that's probably about right. I would say Rybakina, yeah, winning the French is slightly more likely than Iga winning Wimbledon this year. Very important to say this year. I do think that Iga probably will get over the line someday. Okay. Eddie, by the way, Eddie, would you like to join me for this Dominic Thiem, even for just a set for Thiem Kokkinakis? If you do want to join, just say so in the chat and I'll send you the link. Because my stream at the moment for Dominic Thiem has frozen. I'm going to try one again. Let's have a look. It's back. It's back, ladies and gentlemen, which is good to know. So what I'm going to do is I'll have Dominic Thiem on my phone, and I'll probably keep Potapova, Schneider, or some of the women's tennis on my big screen. So tennis all round. Yeah. Emma said there was only 2 or 3 clay courts in the UK. I think there's more than that, Ghosty, but maybe that's just what she's familiar with. I don't know. But I know at least one tennis club in the UK that has some clay courts, so I'll be surprised. Wang, by the way, is up 2-love over Bogdan. Yeah, no worries, Eddie. Just curious. My stream for Kokkinakis team is back anyway, so I'm going to share the score with you. It's 2-3, 15-love. Eddie, how about tomorrow daytime? Daytime for us. So some of the early matches in Madrid, and so therefore evening for you. Damien and I will probably do a stream in the daytime tomorrow for some of the matches. Maybe you can join for an hour or two if you want. Eddie, by the way, has a podcast out there, so do check out Eddie's podcast. I'm going to share his Twitter page on the stream right now. There's his Twitter page, so you can check out all this stuff there. YouTube channel as well. There you go. So that's Eddie, Tennis Asia. Schneider, Potapova are into the second set. Potapova winning the first set. Schneider serving and at deuce. And Wang is 2-love, 40-15 up. Kokkinakis here, 40-love up on his serve. Goes down the tee there, Kokkinakis. And is that a forehand winner from the Australian? No, it went out. So 40-15. Dominic Thiem serving, goes down the tee, run around forehand there for Dominic though. Now Dominic's on the forehand. Lovely forehand there, but good defense and a lovely volley from Dominic Thiem, 40-30. So can he get to deuce? He's already had 3 break points in this set. Backhand return. Kokkinakis comes into the net. Thiem going for the lob. It's not good enough, and it's smashed away by Kokkinakis. So 3 games all in the battle of the Osts, Australia and Austria. That's a bit of a stretch. So 3 games all. Over to you, Dominic. Of course, with each service hold, Kokkinakis is edging a little closer to the finish line. Okay, cool. So we'll do a stream in the daytime Europe, so evening for you, me, you, Damien, maybe 1 or 2 others. And yeah, we'll probably do like a multiple match stream, if that makes sense, where we're just commentating on several matches at the same time. A Madrid Open live with several matches going on. Yeah, it's pretty ugly at the moment for Dominic Thiem. Anyway, love 30 here on the team serve as well. So it's getting from bad to worse for Dominic right now. Goes down the tee with that one. Backhand return. Can he attack that one, Dominic? No, he can't. Not well enough. Now he's on the forehand. They're exchanging forehands. Kokkinakis changing it up. They're now both on the slices right now. Oh, is that a lovely drop shot slice there from Dominic? It is indeed 15-30. So, Thiem here still under a little bit of pressure on his serve. He's going to have to win the next 2 points to avoid having to face a break point. Backhand return, slice there from Dominic, which is causing 1 or 2 problems for Kokkinakis. That forehand down the line, though, has gone wide, and we do indeed have some break points for Thanasi Kokkinakis. 2 of them, 15-40. Packed house there, as we can see on court 4 for this encounter. Both players pretty popular on tour. Okay, Dominic Thiem, where are you going with this one? Down the tee, naturally. But I think that may have clipped the net, so it's going to be another first serve for Dominic. $15.40. Run around forehand return for Kokkinakis. Took a funny bounce that one, but Dominic dealt with it okay. But now Kokkinakis is on the attack, moving Dominic around. Dominic on that one-handed backhand, of course, that he's so famous for. Dominic, who's barely on my screen, but that's a short ball there. But Kokkinakis wasn't able to punish it, so Thiem is still in the rally. Thiem again on that backhand. Now, though, it's a forehand winner from Kokkinakis. 4-3. Kokkinakis leads. Forehand winner. Thiem looks to the sky. He looks frustrated. He looks annoyed. He's just not getting anything at the moment from either side. Bounces his racket on the ground. Sits down. Kokkinakis leads by a set and a break, with the Australian just 2 games away from sealing his place in the first round proper in Madrid. Please, for those of you tuning in, hit the like button. If you're watching on Twitter, click retweet for us so we can get out to even more of the masses. If you're watching on YouTube, also hit like and hit the subscribe button as we head inexorably towards 8,000 subscribers. Indeed, that is exactly the story of this set. He had love 43 break points, couldn't convert any of those break points, and now shortly afterwards has indeed been broken himself. So Kokkinakis leads 6-1, 4-3 with a break. Yeah. Let's have a quick look elsewhere. What is going on with other matches? One more qualifier to come, of course, with Gasquet. Potapova is up 7-5 and a break. Let's share some scores with you on the screen from the women's side. So as you can see there, Potapova 7-5, 2 love. She leads, but Schneider does at least have 40 love on her serve. Sarah Irani in qualification action, winning the first set 7-5. Yeah, 7-5. She won the first set, but Romero Gomez is up a break in the second. 2 love, she leads. Harriet Dart, by the way, is serving for the match over on court 5. However, she is love 30 down. In other qualifying news from earlier, Pera and Kala have both qualified at the expense of Zarazua and Sharma, whilst in the first round proper on the main stadium of Manolo Santana, Begu won in straight sets over Fruhvirtova. Wang, by the way, leading 3-1 and 30 love. Some other qualifier results earlier, seeing Danilovic qualify at the expense of Nima and Christian winning in 3 sets over Saville. Some other first round proper matches, Tatiana Murillo emerging in 3 sets in a very, very tight encounter. She lost the first set 7-6, but ended up winning it on a 3rd set tiebreak. So she is into the slicer. Dicer is into the 2nd round, as is Podoroskova. Podoroska, sorry, who won in straight sets over Siniakova earlier. Vickery, by the way, who had some good results in Stuttgart last week, unfortunately lost today in straight sets, so she didn't make the first round. And Grasheva, though, did at the expense of Mandlik, so she is through. Keep up at the back. We'll head back to Dominic Thiem against Kokkinakis, and it is love 15 on the Kokkinakis serve. Thiem comes into the net and puts the volley away, so it is love 30. Dominic not done in terms of this match just yet. Hey, Eduardo. Still not been to Lucas. No, I haven't. No. Oh, that's from my Twitter page, right, Eduardo? By the way, Eduardo, if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe on this channel. We are just 81 away from 8,000. Second serve, is it? I think. No, first serve. It hit the net and landed in. So love 30, but still on the first serve here for Kokkinakis. Good first serve, though, there from Kokkinakis. He's on the attack, the forehand, moving Dominic Thiem around. Thiem tries to go with a backhand winner down the line, but it doesn't work, goes into the net. So 15-30. Thank you to somebody who just hit the subscribe button. We are now one closer to 8,000. We might get to 8,000 today. We might get 80 subscribers if people go crazy. But it's probably more likely to be tomorrow or the next day. Thank you, Eduardo, who's already subscribed. Yeah, Pliskova withdrew. Yep. So, in fact, that's changed the dynamic for Emma Raducanu because she was due to play Pliskova. I think now Raducanu will get a lucky loser. On the forehand here of Kokkinakis to the backhand, which sliced back over the net. That had a nasty bounce, but this is really low bouncing, some of these balls. Oh, what about that for a drop shot from Thanasi Kokkinakis? Take a bow, son. Take a bow. Some really tricky bounces for both players there. But it was Kokkinakis who dealt with it best. 30 all. Wang still leads by a break, by the way. 4-1 over Bogdan. It's a wild backhand from Wang. So it's actually it's just one break, sorry for Wang, but it was a wild backhand from her. Okay, back here with Kokkinakis' team. Kokkinakis looks like he's questioning a call. Did that go out? Oh, by the way, Ghosty, I know you say it's his hometown, Munich, but is it his hometown? It might be. 30 all. So I think they're replaying the point. Johan Nufal saying 1-1. I don't know if he's watching a different sport. Dua, can you please hit subscribe, by the way? That little button just below the screen. Goes down the tee, run around forehand return. 30 all here. Slice from, no, it's not going to be a slice from Dominic. Actually, I saw it set up for a slice, but now the ball is bouncing much higher from these two players. Forehand squash shot there from Dominic. Getting close to the line. Is that a winner from Kokkinakis or did that land out? It landed out. Close, but no cigar. So we have a break point for Dominic Thiem. It's his fourth one of this set. He wasn't able to take any of the previous three. Can he take this one? Thank you for double checking, Ghosty. I mean, at least it's his homeland either way, which I think is still nice. Oh, it's an ace from Kokkinakis. That's another ace. That's his fourth one of the day to save the break point. So we're back to juice, or we're on juice, I should say. 4 aces and no double faults. Clean from the Australian. Dominic Thiem on the run. Drive, forehand volley, winner there from Kokkinakis. All nicely set up with a wonderful first serve. And now it's a game point for Thanasi. I actually played tennis earlier. Oh, what was the score? 6-3, 6-3. Kokkinakis comes into the net, and it's helped him win the point because Dominic Thiem is unable to pass the Australian. Attempted backhand pass, landed in the net, and it is 5-3. Dominic Thiem staring down the barrel. Poor old Dominic. Okay, not far from where I am then, about an hour away. Nevertheless, homeland. We can say homeland or home country, even if the Bavarians might think they're a little bit different to the rest of Germany. Dominic Thiem comes into the net. Oh, Dominic, that was ugly. Dominic set himself up nicely with a good first serve. I say nicely. I guess it was a little tricky. He had to run into the net, but you've got to get that back in play, Dominic. Got to get that. I mean, he's on the run, chasing that short ball down. Tries to go dink it back over the other side and dink it in the opposite direction, but actually just dinked it back into the net. Backhand return there from Kokkinakis, still on the backhand of both players as they keep going cross court. Oh, Dominic, that backhand into the tram line there. Trying to change it up. Did not work at all. So, Kokkinakis here on the Dominic Thiem serve is just 2 points away from sealing his spot in the first round. In Madrid, and Dominic's rough year could be about to get even worse. Thiem here. Goes down the tee with that backhand return. Thiem on the attack. Should win the point from here. No, he doesn't. Kokkinakis there with an excellent passing shot that Thiem was able to get his racket on. Just a lack of conviction there. Thiem was in charge of that rally, but he just didn't believe. Forlorn is the word that springs to mind in every way, shape, and form, and it is love 40. 3 match points for Thanasi Kokkinakis. Thiem comes in for a serve and volley, and he doesn't put the volley away on the stretch. Kokkinakis now wins this match 6-1, 6-3. They embrace at the net. Oh dear. Dominic Thiem. I mean, that service game summed up where his career is at right now. In charge of some of those rallies, but a lack of conviction on the forehand side, giving Kokkinakis a chance. Some very disappointing volleys from Dominic at the net, and just generally very poor at the net all round. And Thanasi Kokkinakis wins 6-1, 6-3. He is into the next round. Man, would be nice that Dominic could win the second set. Well, unfortunately, that was badly timed. But JD Romero, 21. If you can hit the like button on this video and subscribe, that would be a consolation for us at least. But for Dominic Thiem, no consolation at all. Going out in straight sets. At least he won a match, I guess, yesterday. But round 2 of qualifying, he is out. But Kokkinakis goes on. So that is that. Let's have a quick look around, see what else has been going on in Madrid today. I will show you some of these women's scores. But let's have a quick look as well at some other scores that have been going on. On the ATP side. There we go. Oh, yeah, Medvedev is up, having won the first set over Comisano. Comisano, of course, was our Jakob Bobro Player of the Week last week for the Argentinian, breaking into the top 100. So, yeah. There we go. But anyway, he is down a set on Medvedev. And it looks like, yes, Yamas Ruiz is through, beating Federico Correa in straight sets. Bautista Agut, did I hear that he was up 5-love, Bautista Agut in the second set? Although he did actually go on and win that, but not the match itself, with Ramonas Vinolas beating him in 3 sets. Mute is through at the expense of Shelby. I wonder if Shelby on clay is going to be a thing. Don't know. Of course, he came through the Rafa Nadal Academy. So actually, it looks like, so of course, Shelby was a wild card in the ATP, what do you call it? The junior finals. What's the word I'm looking for? Next gen finals. Nakashima, who's in a bit of good form at the moment, winning in in straight sets over Hugo Carabelli. Klein, who's also in pretty good form as well. I think I saw Damien tweeting about him earlier, suggesting in how well he's been doing in the big events, qualifying and winning a lot of his matches in the 1000s and the slams this year. Montero winning in 3 sets over Albots in the Battle of the Grandpas. Okay, so, but no such good form for Dominic Thiem. Do let us know your thoughts. Hi, Terry, by the way, and hi, Lexi. Oh, Dommy, when is Rafa playing? Rafa's playing tomorrow, but I'm not sure if the schedule is out yet. He's playing, at least it's not out yet. So it might be tomorrow, or it could be even Thursday. Share some live scores for you from the women's side there. Sarah Arani trying to qualify. So we'll take a quick break. I will stay live for a few more minutes, but we'll just take a quick break and we'll be back with you in about a minute. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. All things tennis indeed. Terry, is that confirmed that it's going to be Thursday? You might be right. I just missed that. I thought it might be tomorrow. Either Wednesday or Thursday, but maybe Terry knows more than I do. He seems pretty confident that it's going to be Thursday for Rafa. I'm guessing it'll be in the evening on Thursday. But anyway, qualifier news today. I can share some of these scores on the screen as we see Mochizuki is up a set on Hassan, but Hassan, the German, does have a set point there. Medjedovic and Komisana are 1 game all in the second set after Medjedovic won the first set. Mute beating Shelby. Shelby, of course, is a Rafa Nadal Academy graduate. Kokkinakis, as we've just seen, comfortably beating Dominic Thiem, a forlorn Dominic Thiem, and his year just goes from bad to worse. Yamas Ruiz beating Federico Correa. For me, that's a surprise. Also a surprise is Ramonas Vinolas winning in 3 sets over Roberto Bautista Agut. Kovacevic beating Vacherot in straight sets. Bagnis doing the same to Zeppieri. And Montero in the Battle of the Grandpas overcoming Albot. And Lucas Klein, who's quietly having a good year, beating Tarante. And we've got Adjugovic against Richard Gasquet. Gasquet is probably as well. Are we looking at this being his final year on tour? Do let me know your thoughts on that in the live chat. And Nakashima, by the way, I think he's having a quiet return to form too, winning in straight sets over Carabelli. So he is into the first round proper. That is you getting all up to date, at least with the qualifiers. Isaac, do hit subscribe if you haven't done so already, but wonderful to have you in the live chat. That's equally good. And of course, hit the like button. And if you're watching on Twitter, hit retweet, please. There was something else I wanted to say before I bring this show to a close. Yeah, Damien and I will be live again later on this evening for a roundup of all the qualifiers and also some of the first round action from the women's as well. So all the qualifiers on the men's and the women's side to see what the first round proper looks like. And we may even have a quick preview of some of the matches tomorrow that are coming up. But yeah, if you're sure it's going to be Thursday, fine. But yeah, my word, yeah, 6-1, 6-3. What a score line that was indeed for Kokkinakis. There was something else that I wanted to address before we bring this to a close. But oh yeah, that was my poll that I put on Twitter. I'd like to know your thoughts in the live chat, what you think about this. Yeah, I would probably vote. I didn't vote in this particular poll because I created it, but I would probably vote Rybakina being a slightly more likely option to win the French Open than Swiatek to win Wimbledon this year, at least. I think that Swiatek will one day win Wimbledon, but I think this year might be just a little bit too soon for her. But if she gets a nice draw, could easily make the semis or beyond. Okay, so before we bring this to a close, do let me know some of your thoughts in the live chat on some of the things that I've just been talking about. Dominic Thiem, Richard Gasquet, Rafa Nadal, are we all looking at those players to retire in 2024? Maybe you have some more optimism regarding those players. If you do, let me know in the live chat. They said a few days ago he's playing Thursday. Okay, maybe, but I don't think the schedule is out yet for tomorrow or Thursday. But yeah, maybe it will be. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, so yeah. Okay, I'll share some of these women's scores for you on the screen. On my screen, by the way, I have Wang with a break point, although it's just been saved by Bogdan. So Wang is leading 4-1, but it is now at deuce on Bogdan's serve. As we see, Schneider and Potapova, things very tight there. Harriet Dart did indeed get over the line against Timofeva. That's a good win for the Brit. She is into the first round, as is Bernardo Pera. And Bautista is close, at least, to getting into the first round pop as well. She's up a set and a break on Shramakova. Meanwhile, Sara Arani and Romero Gomez are at 3-all, 30-all in the second set, with the Italian having won the first set. You are all up to date. Thank you for joining for this watch along. I had a really good audience, first of all, with Damien, who covered the first set, and I covered the second. Bad news for Dominic Thiem. He is out of the Madrid Open. Good news for everyone else is that we will be back tonight. Damien and I will bring you a roundup of this day in Madrid, of all the qualifiers and even one or two of the women's first round matches. He may well be playing Di Minor, of course, in the second round. That is indeed true. Huge maybe, but he could make the fourth round, where he'll play Tiafoe winnable in the third round. Yeah, I think that sounds about right, Isaac. He's obviously the favourite against the 16-year-old who will be playing in the first round, whether that's tomorrow or Thursday. Di Minor, of course, would be a huge ask in the second round, especially as he lost to him recently in Barcelona. But yeah, all ifs, buts and maybes, but perhaps there could be a deeper run for Rafa here in Madrid than there was in Barcelona. Once again, thank you for joining, and you know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.